It was a very, very bad night for one former Celtic, Danny Ainge. It was a very good night for another former Celtic, Larry Bird. Let me explain. So the Celtics last night, look at us. We are acquiring draft picks. We're going to bottom out, start over, get a new young coach. They called teams last night, like Chicago with Jimmy Butler. No. We're not really interested in that. No. We're not really. Can you give us a star? Well, we have Isaiah Thomas, but you can't have him. Click. This is what the bottoming out teams do. They drafted Jaylen Brown, who I think is going to be really good, but he's not a shooter. Like, that's his worst thing. He's an athlete, and he will play for a long time, and I like him a lot. Then they picked up a bunch of guys who will not make any impact for several years. Now, let's talk about the former Celtic that had a great night, Larry Bird. And the reason Larry Bird had a great night, because Larry Bird knew this is a weak draft. And the Indiana Pacers are now the second best team in the East. Why? Because they got Jeff Teague. Unlike Boston and Philadelphia, Indiana didn't want to bottom out. They wanted to win games, reward their fans, and remain viable. So they just didn't give away George Hill. They didn't give guys away. They wanted to win games and be viable, accumulate proven players. And so Indiana entered the week with a draft pick in George Hill. And by the time that draft started last night, that awful draft, they had an all-star to go along with their star. Jeff Teague, Monte Ellis, and Paul George, and emerging Miles Turner, and they also got Thaddeus Young, a 15-9 player in the East. This morning, Indiana is the number 2 team in the East without a doubt.